Hi guys, this is Dennis and I hope you enjoy my videos because this is another one and this is my second English Fluency podcast, my video where I just speak English. I'm trying to speak fluently without hesitating, without translating in my head, and this is the kind of videos where I try to speak faster than others. I'm not gonna edit in this video after I shoot it because this is my second fluency podcast where I just speak English with you and I'm gonna make so many grammar and pronunciation mistakes, so please excuse me, but so let's start it. And the subject of my this English speaking podcast is studying English like a native kid. Because guys, I believe that we should learn every target language like as a native kids. So what I mean by this sentence. Uh, the traditional way of learning second language or any additional language is a translation from your native language, from your mother tongue to the target language, whatever the target language is. But this is the way native kids never learn their native language, because our kids literally from the day when they are born, they start listen to their parents' voices, their parents' voices, and they listen to what parents and maybe their older brothers and sisters speak, and they listen to words from their environment, and maybe for 6, 10, 12 months, or maybe the first year of their lives. uh, Native kids, any kids actually, any kids don't they don't speak the first maybe year of their lives. But then, not knowing any grammar rules, any pronunciation, not knowing any spellings of the words of their native language, they just start repeat. They just start shadow, and they repeat after their parents, after their older brothers and sisters, and maybe later they start to repeat after maybe the TV set, or maybe even YouTube videos, something like that. But the essential idea about what I'm just said is the following idea, that kids don't hesitate to start speaking. They just open their mouth and try to produce sounds what these kids think their parents speak. So what I'm trying to say, if you start learning your target language with some textbooks and some simple words via translation from your native language, this is okay. This is a good start for beginners. That's really the only possible start for the beginner learners of any target language. But guys, when you are be able to know some simple words, simple phrases, some grammar points and grammar rules, you have to start speak actually. Even if your pronunciation isn't perfect, just like mine right now. Even your grammar rules, you don't know grammar rules as good as you want to know grammar rules and so on. This doesn't matter because if you don't speak, you don't use any material that you learn, and you can't produce any words. You can't communicate actually with other people's, no matter native speakers or non-native speakers of your target language. In my case, this is English, and that's the problem of most of the learners, especially grown-ups, especially adult learners just like me. One more time, I'm 33 and I've been learning English for maybe for 2 years by this moment, intentionally learn because I started learn English in school, in my school, back in my elementary school in 90s, maybe that was 1997 or something like that, back in that days. But once again, I started to learn English as a kid, like every like almost every other second language learner via some textbook, some old, Soviet style, Soviet era English copybooks, work copybooks or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was like, but the idea that after maybe 5 or 6 years in school, when I tried to learn English, actually, by the moment when I graduated from school, I couldn't speak, I couldn't write, I couldn't actually even understand the English speech from anybody. I couldn't. And even when I start to listen to native English speakers and non-native English speakers on YouTube, on other platforms in the internet, and when I start to watch American and British TV series, TV shows, and after when I start try to produce uh, information in my target language, only after that I start to feel that I can really understand and to communicate using English. Okay, guys, what I'm trying to say once again, we all English learners, we all should act just like native uh, English kids. So, what I'm trying to say, we should try to produce words, even if we even if we don't know how to do it correctly. I just try and again translate from my mother tongue to English, and this is a really bad idea. And so much better to produce words fluently, and even if even if these words are not correct, even if I can't pick up from my mind the proper words. Even my grammar is awful right now when I trying to to express myself via my very bad in English and so on. That's better than just consume English from podcasts, from English speaking videos, from something like that, and think that this practice, listening practice, helps you to communicate. To communicate in English and speak in English. No, the truth is that the listening practice don't help you to speak in English. And believe me, I know, because almost 2 years I just listening to different podcasters, videos from TED Talks and something like that. And I've been listening to native English speakers like Drew Badger and Emma from English and uh, Gabby Wallace from Go Natural English, something like that, for example, and many other really good teachers on YouTube. And also, I've been listening to uh, TED Talks for maybe 5 or 6 months, and this practice really helped me to improve my listening skills. So right now, I can understand maybe almost 100% of words that I listen to, and I can understand that, but actually I can't I can't produce these words properly, and so my passive vocabulary uh, pretty is quite big. I think for the standard conversation about weather or my life or maybe some different topics, but this is my basic vocabulary because I've been listening to English videos for 1 year on 1 year and a half or something like that, and I feel I feel actually really confident when I listen to English speech, but I feel really uncomfortable when I try to express myself, when I try to start speaking. And the key, the English word key is really tricky because it spells like key and e and y, but actually it's key. It's pronounced like key. So what I'm trying to say, uh, kids the kids, any kids all around the world, they don't hesitate to start produce different ideas on their native language. Although kids' brain is not big enough like our grown-ups' brain, and kids don't know any grammar rules at all, and kids don't have uh, some life experiences and something like that, but kids just start to speak much earlier than kids start read and write on their language, in their language. So listen to and speak. Listen to and speak once more time. Consume information from listening and immediately produce information through your mouth, your tongue, your teeth, and your voice. You just um, you just should understand the one simple idea. If you don't speak, so you can't communicate. You are not going to be fluent in English communicating. You are not going to be fluent in English conversation, any kind, even simple. In, excuse me, even simple conversation in English or in your any target language will be difficult for you, difficult to you if you didn't practice enough, if you don't practice enough before this conversation. And once again, kids don't hesitate. Kids don't think this person uh, gonna I forget the proper words in English, but I try to express my idea maybe with other words so that my fluency podcasts uh, go on. So kids don't think about other people's um, uh, about other people's words, other people's uh, maybe sites on them. They just speak, and uh, that's great, and that's why their brain, kids' brain, uh, is able to absorb the language, the native language, so fast and so easy, so simple. And even if even if a kid is bilingual, uh, when uh, parents of these kids this kids from another countries, maybe his mother from the US and his father from Germany, something like that, or his mother from Russia and his father from I don't know, from France, from England, from uh, uh, you name it, from Sweden, from Finland, from China, from Japan, from Pakistan, any country in the world. uh, uh, these kids are able to speak and teach and understand the both languages as easy and as simple as monolingual kids like just like me. Yeah, I'm monolingual kids. My parents from Russia, born and raised. In my childhood, uh, I I didn't have chance to consume, to absorb any other language from my environment. No, and back in 90s, we don't have internet, at least in here in former Soviet Union, in Russia. We don't have any internet. We don't have YouTube. We don't have uh, these great opportunities like just like now when we have millions of platforms of web sites about learning English and any other languages, and that's just amazing, really. In my childhood, I have a couple of old style English learning books, maybe, and that's it. That's it. And of course, using that books, using those books, I didn't have a chance to speak English or understand English fluently. Excuse me. And um, so right now we have so many opportunities to learn, to study, to absorb any type or any types of information, and specifically about uh, our target languages. That's just mind blowing. That's great. That's super cool, guys. And uh, we all learners of any target language. We should um, uh, observe. We should look at kids, and we should teach from them how they are learning their native language. uh, they start speak from very simple separate words, like maybe for the English native speaking kids, it's like maybe apple, mom, dad, I want to pee, I want to I don't want I don't I don't want this. I want that. Go away. Uh, please give me that. Give me this, and something like that. And then after they just start communicate with the world around them, because this is a instinct, this is a natural habit, and when we uh, when we are getting old, when we are growing up, we day by day, year by year, we are getting we are losing this ability to absorb the new things without hesitating without any resistance. But kids have this great ability to absorb any words, any maybe simple phrases, expressions, even if they didn't know what exactly these expressions mean, but kids try to repeat after their parents. Kids try to uh, shadow these expressions that they hear from their environment, and that's why kids so easy learn any words, even curse words, yeah, bad words. And parents mostly generally try don't to speak any curse words next to their kids when their kids over here, and kids just speak, just repeat, just shadow, and that's why they so fast and so easy get fluent in their native language. Just like you got fluency in your native language, and I'm sure that your native language is very hard, very difficult. Uh, Whatever language is, Chinese, Russian in my case, maybe Japanese, French, Spanish, and so on. Uh, and for each certain person, their native language seems to be easy and simple to communicate using this language. But in fact, actually, uh, any language, any language that's spoken on our planet, on Earth, uh, uh, any language is easier for learning it as a kid, as a native speaker, and this is the idea. Uh, this is the idea I got from, for example, Drew Badger from EnglishAnyone.com. I mentioned him in almost every my video. He's great. He's amazing. He's an amazing teacher, really. And if you start to study English as a native English kid, you you'll get fluent much faster than the other student that studies English with traditional way, with textbooks, with exercises, with I don't know, filling the gaps in some books and something like that. So, guys, this is it for today. I believe. Excuse me for my very bad grammar and for my maybe some kind of messy way to express myself. I really don't prepare to this podcast. This is the point of these types of videos on my channel when I just sit down on my chair in my kitchen and just start speak with you. And this is the point. I believe that this way to learn, this way to practice, is the only way to get real additional language fluency. English, in my case, and probably your case too. So, guys, this is almost 30 minutes by this moment, and I have to say goodbye for today. But every week, podcasts like this will be appear. This is right word. Maybe I believe so. Maybe not. And once again, this is just stream of my consciousness. These podcasts are they are just they're just messy and some kind of sloppy. Excuse me, guys. And if you like to learn with me, if you like to communicate with me, if you like these types of videos, please do click the like button. Please subscribe on my channel, the button uh, right here, I think. And bye bye for now. Thanks for watching.